Um, One question is burning me. When you started the company and when you started Mojo, you were the CEO of Archery, and like probably a year or two ago, probably 2 years ago, Frances, your co-founder, has taken the role of CEO. I felt from the outside that this is often for companies a very touchy position because like it's like when you play soccer with your friend at school, everybody wants to score. Nobody wants to be the goalkeeper, while the goalkeeper still is mandatory for a team to play. And like, I wanted to just have more probably your voice on that. Like, how did it feel? Why did you feel that you wanted to move out of that position while the company was successful at the time as well?
Yeah, so it was actually, yeah, 2 years ago roughly, so maybe already 4, 5 years in. The company was super profitable, but n- not growing as much as it did before. I think it kind of reached a plateau, as it did several times in the journey of the company. And as it happens for many companies, until they crack kind of the next, I would say, the next level to make it to the next stage. Um, and I think what happened is that I was pretty unhappy and miserable at work. And it took me a while to realize that it was about kind of what my days consisted in, and about my role. And so for some time, I thought it was about the state of the company, and that the only way for me to solve that unhappiness would be to leave the company. But as it was such a severe decision, um, and I think I was lucky to that I was working with a professional coach at the time. I think both reached out to my co-founder Francesco, telling him, "Okay, I feel like leaving." We already had a pretty strong and open relationship at the time, so I felt confident enough to be able to bring up the topic without kind of feeling he would feel kind of I don't know, bad about it or attacked or whatever. And at the same time, I kind of, yeah, bring up this brought up the subject with my coach, that I think very cleverly organized kind of an offsite of a few days with my co-founder and himself, and we kind of tried to sort out kind of this situation. And basically, by going into the details of why I wasn't happy, I basically going through that work, that actually very unpleasant work of trying to decipher kind of what made me miserable. I realized that it was everything was kind of related to some tasks, some jobs to be done that I didn't want to be the one doing. So I think that came the first realization where I yeah, it turned out that it was not about the company, it was about me being the CEO, and kind of having that role where I would just, I think, dislike everything that I guess a regular CEO should do. So hiring, being the public face of the company, making sure we don't run out of money, all of that, and everything I would just dislike. And whereas I only cared about the product and the design part of and just building the product and the core of what we were selling and making. And the kind of the second realization that happened at that moment is that my co-founder Francesco, that was in the room, thanks to that coach that had set this up, said, "Well, I'm interested to try, and kind of take care of those tasks and see how that goes." I think the only topic that was kind of that I felt like not giving up was the strategy and the mission and the vision for the company. And so like this, we would keep working on together, because actually we had been working on that, the two of us, until then. So we kept it, as I would say, as a joint topic. And so that's how we decided to just not even swap roles, because I didn't become the CTO that my co-founder was. I think he became the CEO. I became role-less. And I think I didn't have a title or a role for like more than a year. And honestly, that was fine. And I think that was a very defining moment for the company where I think many companies would or could have died. I mean, the company would have died if we didn't kind of really sit down and very, I would say, uh, try to put our emotions on the side and see kind of what was going on really there. So that's what happened.
Tough. Like it's to me, it feels impressive because like it it actually sounds simple to explain. Like I just didn't want it to do that 9 to 5 anymore, and then my co-founder wanted to take that role, and then simple we found a solution. But actually, I can experience the fact that this is often really something that like probably kills company, kills project. Uh, I think
Yeah,
except for
definitely.
me, I don't know anyone who had that maturity of swapping roles and then finding solutions.
I think the help that we got really made a difference. I think the openness of our relationship played a big part as well. But don't get me wrong, it was like super tough. I think something I didn't mention also is that, in kind of many companies, the CEO is kind of I would say, the gold role, kind of the shiny position. And so feeling like you don't want to be there is I mean, I felt it as failing. I was like, okay, I reached kind of my ceiling. I cannot kind of make it to the next stage, and I'm kind of slowing the company down. And I felt really guilty and weak for that. And I think it's the process. I think to resolve that was a lot. Also came about me making peace with that failure, I would say, and realizing that um, it's not so much about me failing to kind of be the CEO of a company that was meant to be bigger, but it was more about who I was.
Hmm.
And that actually didn't matter. It's like who I am is like I'm a product and design guy, and actually a tech guy that I realized as well. I realized that as well after the fact. And this is, I would say, the triangle of design, tech, and product where I want to operate. And this is kind of fundamentally deeply who I am. And basically, every time I would move out from that, I would say, in a way that's not deliberate, I would just be less happy at the result. And I think that's realization, and that's, I would say, better understanding of myself, I think was a big key for me to let go.